until time quietly runs out. No alarm sounds. No warning appears. Life simply moves forward, while plans stay where they are. In a peaceful village far from the noise of the city, days passed slowly and gently. Fields stretched wide. Evenings arrived without hurry. In one small house lived a family of many generations. Parents, a younger child, and a grandfather whose words carried the weight of experience. Among them was a young boy with a sharp mind and a lazy habit. The boy was not foolish. Understanding came easily. Ideas formed quickly. But action was always postponed. Every task met the same answer. Later. Every responsibility heard the same promise. Tomorrow. Homework waited. Chores waited. Small duties turned into quiet piles of regret. When friends studied, the boy rested. When teachers warned, the boy smiled and believed there was still time. Life felt comfortable that way. Morning arrived. Breakfast was eaten slowly. A book stayed closed. A short nap felt harmless. There is still the afternoon, the boy thought. Afternoon faded into evening. Evening turned into night. Another day disappeared without resistance. At school, results began to change. Lessons felt heavier. Confidence slipped quietly away. The boy noticed the gap growing, but believed it could be fixed later. After all, time felt endless. The grandfather watched everything without speaking. Experience had taught one simple truth. Laziness rarely looks dangerous at the beginning. It looks like rest. It looks like comfort. It looks like freedom. But time does not leave loudly. Time is not stolen in one moment. Time is lost quietly, minute by minute, excuse by excuse. In that village, nothing dramatic had happened yet. No great mistake. No great loss. Just another ordinary day shaped by delay. But ordinary days repeated often enough become a habit. And habits shape life more powerfully than talent ever could. The boy did not know it yet, but a lesson was approaching. A moment where later would no longer be available. A moment that would reveal how quickly endless time can disappear. Because laziness does not destroy life all at once. Laziness waits patiently while time slips away. One evening, as the sun settled behind the fields, the grandfather called the boy to sit beside him. The voice was calm, not angry. In the grandfather's hand rested a small, dark stone, smooth, ordinary, easy to overlook. "This is not an ordinary stone," the grandfather said quietly. "This stone carries a rare opportunity." The boy leaned closer, curiosity replacing boredom. "When this stone is rubbed against iron, iron turns into gold," the grandfather continued. "This gift is yours to use. But there is one rule." The grandfather's eyes held steady. "This stone stays with you only until tomorrow evening." Excitement rushed in immediately. The boy imagined wealth, comfort, and admiration. Gold felt close. Success felt easy. The rule felt distant. There is plenty of time, the boy thought. One full day is more than enough. Plans formed quickly. Scrap iron could be bought at the market. Gold could be made before dinner. Life could change overnight. The boy smiled and placed the stone carefully beside the bed. That night, dreams arrived easily. Morning came slowly. The boy stretched and smiled again. "There is still time," the boy whispered. "Breakfast first." The market would wait. A short rest would help energy. Just a few minutes. Minutes became an hour. The bed felt warm. Sleep returned quietly. When the boy woke again, the sun had climbed high. Panic flickered for a moment, then faded. The evening is still far away, the boy thought. Rushing would ruin everything. The stone remained untouched. Afternoon arrived. The market noises drifted in from afar. The boy stood, then sat back down. One more pause. One more delay. Each decision felt small. Each delay felt harmless. But time moved forward without asking permission. As shadows grew longer, realization struck. The boy jumped up and rushed toward the door. Just one quick trip. Just one moment of effort. But the door opened to a quiet truth. The grandfather stood there, waiting. Without anger, the grandfather reached out and took the stone back. "The time is over," the grandfather said gently. Tears filled the boy's eyes. "Just a little more time," the boy begged. "Only a moment." The grandfather shook the head. "Opportunity does not disappear loudly," the grandfather said. "Opportunity leaves silently when ignored." In that moment, the weight of wasted time settled in. Not because of failure, but because nothing had been attempted. The lesson had arrived, not with punishment, but with reality. As the afternoon faded, the boy finally felt the weight of time. The sky outside had changed color. Sounds from the market grew quieter. A sharp fear replaced comfort. The boy grabbed the stone and rushed toward the door, heart racing, thoughts colliding. Just one task. Just a short walk. Just a few minutes late. The boy ran, counting steps, bargaining with time. If the market is still open, everything can be fixed, the boy whispered. If iron can be found quickly, nothing is lost. Breath shortened. Hands trembled. The clock inside the mind grew louder with every second. But reality does not wait for panic. At the edge of the road, the boy stopped. The market stalls were closing. Doors were already shut. The last voices faded into evening. The chance to act had passed, not dramatically, not loudly, but completely. The boy turned back slowly. At home, the grandfather sat quietly, exactly where promised. No anger filled the room. No disappointment spilled into words. The stone was taken gently, as if nothing unusual had happened. The boy's voice broke. "I was going to do it," the boy said. "I just needed a little more time." The grandfather looked up with calm eyes. "Time was given," the grandfather replied. Action was not taken. Silence followed. "Listen carefully," the grandfather continued. "A task that takes 30 minutes can still be unfinished after 24 hours. Not because time was short, but because delay felt comfortable." The boy lowered the head. The truth hurt more than any punishment. Nothing had gone wrong. Nothing had failed. Nothing had been attempted. "A small task delayed becomes a big loss," the grandfather said softly. "Time punishes no one. Time simply moves on." The room felt heavier now, not with blame, but with understanding. Talent had been present. Opportunity had been real. The only missing piece had been the decision to begin. The boy realized something painful and clear. Time had not betrayed anyone. Time had been honest from the start. The only betrayal had been toward the moment itself. That evening, regret arrived quietly. Not as anger, not as shame, but as a deep awareness of how easily life's doors close when later is chosen too often. Reality does not announce itself. Reality arrives when time is already gone. That night, the house felt quieter than usual. The boy sat alone, replaying the day in the mind. No one had shouted. No one had punished. Yet the lesson felt heavier than any scolding ever could. The truth was clear. The problem had never been ability. Intelligence was never missing. Opportunity had been placed directly in reach. What was missing was action at the right moment. The boy understood that waiting for the perfect time had been the mistake. Perfection never arrives. Readiness never announces itself. Action is the only thing that turns possibility into reality. From that day on, something changed, not dramatically, but intentionally. Tasks were no longer delayed for comfort. Small actions began immediately. Homework started before excuses appeared. Chores were finished without promises of later. Progress did not feel exciting at first, but it felt real. The boy learned a powerful truth. Starting now is more important than planning perfectly. A small action today is worth more than a perfect plan tomorrow. Time does not reward intention. Time rewards action. Laziness does not steal life in one day. Laziness steals life 1 minute at a time. Hidden inside comfort, disguised as rest, protected by excuses. This story is not only about one boy in a village. This story is about every person who waits. Every task postponed. Every dream delayed. Pause for a moment and reflect. What task has been delayed for too long? What small action can begin today, not tomorrow? Share the answer in the comments. Like this story if it helped shift perspective. And subscribe to Inspire English Stories to keep learning English through stories that inspire discipline, action, and meaningful growth. Because time is fair to everyone, but only those who act decide how it is used.